Okay, E-Invoice, right? Subsidiary at Intercompany. So the DF Sdn Bhd is a subsidiary of ABC's Berhad. So on the 1st of September, okay, there's a job city, right? And then, right, provide recruitments, right? They help DF Sdn Bhd hiring salespersons or intern, and 10,000 is paid for these services. uh, it's agreed. And Joe City is issuing an e-invoice amounting 10,000 to DF, right? Now the thing is that DF don't have money. Oh, then what happened is that he asked his parents, ABC, to pay on behalf, right? To pay on behalf. So, um, so in the accounting books, so that then later on, DF pay back ABC. So in this case, how do you account the e-invoice, right? Let's take a look at here. So there's no requirement for the e-invoice to be issued HR hiring to ABC, right? Because why? They already issued that e-invoice to DEF. And there's also no requirement for DEF and ABC, right? So, okay. So the buyer still remain as DEF. It's just the person who pays is ABC. Okay, so because why? There's no sales transaction between concluded state party, right? So it's not considered sales, right? Because this is already accounted. Okay, in the event that ABC does charge a certain intercompany fee to DF, then in this case, yes, ABC an invoice is going to be issued by ABC to DF for proof of income. And as for DF, is a proof of expenses, right? So because DF has to pay the interest, right? Regardless of 1 ringgit or 10 ringgit, right, you still need to account for that. Okay, let's take a look at the other one. So here, supplier 2 and supplier 1 now. Notice that here is different from the earlier example. Right here is that the payment, first supplier issue an e-invoice to supplier 2 for the goods and goods. So here, supplier 2 is really totally representing the buyers. And the buyer supplier 2, right, will just make payment to the supplier 1, right? So you can see here, this is very middleman, right? Now let's take a look here. So in this case, how do you solve? The supplier's issue here, we already say that 1. And then supplier 2 makes payment to supplier 1, right, according to the arrangement between supplier 2 and buyer. So after you complete the services right now, supplier 2 will go and issue a separate e-invoice to the buyer to record the amount incurred alongside with the goods sold or services. Now you see here it record the amount incurred on behalf of buyer. So in this case, will be separate line, right? One's of service fee charge and the other is the disbursement. So same thing, right? Like we talked about that in the earlier video, right? Let's take a look at here. What is that here? Wow, that's way too much. Right? Let's see. It should be somewhere here. Oh, nope. Where are we? Okay, just one moment. Oh yeah. Where is it? Where am I? Oh, I'm here. Okay. Here. This is it. Okay, so this is the one. Okay. Let's come back to here. Okay. So you can see here that in this case 10,000 is there. So when you issue this is a service fee, right? Separate line. You see, this is the service fee, and then this is the charge disbursement. Because why? Between this here, there's an e-invoice received this here, but the e-invoice never sent to buyer. So yeah. So for this case, it will talk about reimbursement, right? Reimbursement. It's not disbursement. Okay, let's take a look here. What is our sample here? Yeah, I'm supposed to enter and the agreements here. I think you can just read here by itself, right? So same fact as the example 8, right? So example 8 is somewhere. Was it here? Example 8. This is example 9. Oh, example 8 should be this here then. Okay, So okay, except that now the event has incurred 30,000 rent for the, so incur just an invoice has been issued by the hotel to the event planner. See that it's issued to the event planner. So event will issue an invoice to the charge Perniagaan. Oh, okay, Perniagaan Adiba, right? So yeah, so in this case, I think later we come across this again one more time, right? But where is the Perniagaan Adiba? I think I have a very good example there much earlier. Perniagaan Adiba. Where is Perniagaan Adiba? Ah, there we go, right? So yeah, so this is the Perniagaan Adima. Let's just look at here. Okay, let's go back here where we have the I guess will be here. Okay, okay, I think that's getting here. Okay, I'll just leave it here. Okay, so we have yeah, the event planners right here, right there, and then this time it's not that, it's actually the banquet. Okay, so there's a space, right? This is a hotel, and there's a banquet services hall. Okay, so this is very common. So what happened is that the event planner has to pay in advance to for this space, right, to happen. So it pay just basically here, just pay here in advance of how much, right? It's 30,000. Okay, 30,000 for that for the rent a day, right? And then yep, e-invoice is now sent to that. So after the event is completed, and then what happened is that the event issue an e-invoice to charge Panagon for the service provider as well as recover the. So that means there's two lines. You see that? So so let's say the event planner is charging, say another 10,000, right, as a service fee, right? Service fee is this. Okay, so now he has to issue this, and also a hall rental, right, which already paid in advance, right, to here. So there's a two items here to Perniagaan Adiba, right? So separate will be issued by the invoice for the service fee and this here. Now that's very clear, right? So yep. So the items must be clearly identified. Yes, thank you. So that's complete the disbursement and the reimbursement part. Right now we go to employment prerequisites and benefits. An individual under a contract of services may be provided with employee benefits. So yes, only employee, right, has that benefit. That's why you call employee, right? It's not freelancer. So employee may include this one, cash in kind or so on, right? So that are received by employee from employee right, having exercised employment, right? So such as utility bills, parking fees, car maintenance charges, club membership, gym membership, professional allowance. So in this case, how do you claim, right? So employer will submit the expenses claim, right? As usual, you need that. And where employees are allowed to claim such, right, employees are required to prove their authenticity. So they need to prove, right? They need to prove that it's really done, happened here. And the expenses claimed by will be recorded as the expenses imported for tax purposes. Upon mentions when the sales or transaction including employer required to request an e-invoice to be issued to the employer, right? So let's say you go for a gym, or you go for a gym membership, right? You got to you need to issue that to the gym has to issue the e-invoice to the company, not you, right? But there is also some possibility that you cannot get that potential getting e-invoice to be issued on the name here in this card. So what happens that business will be allowed to proceed with the use of invoice issued to the name of the employee and assisting issued by the supplier to support the supplier as proof of expenses for tax. right? So everybody go to gym to keep them healthy. Yes, got to, but it needs to be name of the employees. Name of the employees. Uh-huh. Oh, okay. In the event where payment in relation to prescription and benefit is made, so the invoice has to issue in the name of the employee. Oh, okay. In the event where payment in relation to requisites is made to the foreign suppliers, are not required to issue a self-bill. Will accept foreign suppliers receipt as this here, right? So make to the foreign supplier. So if foreign supplier, okay. This will only be able if the person are clearly stated in the progressive and stated in the employer's policy. Okay. So yes, the employer's policy has to state that all this is part of the benefit, employee benefit. Okay, and then let's look at, for any expenses claimed to be made, employees should first seek confirmation if they can be issued to the name of the employer. So you need to ask whether they can issue the name of the employer. Okay, whether it can be issued to an employee should provide the details in order to be right. If a step one cannot, then yes, you can go for personal details, right? Payment will be made by the employees upon receipt of validated, so the employee will pay it, right? So employee submit the expenses, so in this case will be reimbursed, right? Yeah, submit the issue support as supporting documents. All right, next, certain expenses incurred by employees on behalf of the employer may incur, right? Such as well, but not limited, accommodations, toll incur in a foreign country. Yeah. So let's say we send I send my I might send my sales team to Thailand, right, for business trip, right? Then yes, right, that is that's an expenses business trip. So employers are required to submit the expenses to them by proving the authenticity. Again, right, it's the same thing, right? You got to use the supporting documents, all this. Where the sales are required to request the e-invoice issued by the. So this is the okay. So same thing, you can issue e-invoice, right? But this is foreign country, right? In foreign country cannot. However, it's getting to be issued in name for certain expenses. So same thing, right? Businesses will be allowed to proceed with the use of e-invoice issue in the name of services here. In the event where paid for incur overseas, right, are not required to issue. Self-bills invoice is not needed, right? So if it's a foreigner, right, it's overseas, so it's no need. Okay. The exception is only applicable if there is able to prove that the employee is acting on the behalf. So you got to provide some proof, right? This incur, right? So let's say you go to a business trip to Thailand. Well, how do you know that? How do you justify that it's a business trip, right? So, well, maybe a handshake with the foreign clients, right? Rather than going there to travel, right? So-called team building, business, what is called what call it, company trip, right? So, hey, but wait, company trip can be considered as a business, yeah, as a business expenses, yeah, can, with involved in a lot of employees, right? All right, and then in this case, that same doing here, there are certain step here will be similar, right? So I will skip that. Next, self-bill e-invoice. What is self-bill e-invoice, right? I will talk about this in the next video, right? As you can see, that like a few more things here to talk about, and then also I talk about that how about the goods sold to foreigners company, right? And yep. Okay, see you in the next video for the last part. Thank you.